Wait for notification. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 27. Oh, Justin's back for the day.
Made it.
That took
We're
a
live.
while.
About a few seconds late, Justin.
Well, that's not my fault. That's just NASCAR Heat 4 just glitching half of it out.
And that's your intro. We're just gonna go straight to the World Race Media standings. No, that is the perfect intro.
Yes.
Intro. All right, here are your World Race. Oh, okay, wait, no. Here are your World Race Media Championship standings. Gap increase between me and Danny. Justin's up to P3.
Yeah, this is why I was so happy when Josh picked Joey Logano. It really helped me that he picked drivers that didn't win. That really helped. It's true. It helped me gain points.
Yes, that
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, my guy finished second, so I can't complain. Truex put a great show Sunday.
Yeah, Reddick decided to be irrelevant at Dover for some reason.
There's a lap one. He lasted one lap, but it was a 12th place finish, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Who was your Cup Series pick, Armani? I can't remember.
Hamlin.
Danny Hamlin led the most laps.
Yeah,
but
he led the most
capitalized.
laps. Yeah.
yeah,
He
he
didn't
led.
capitalize.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, those are your standings. Gap between me and Danny increase. Justin's up to third. Josh is down to fifth. Joseph is still in fourth. And yeah.
Yeah, Justin's not that far back now, or at least a little bit.
I just basically have to. I basically just have to stay ahead of Joseph. I don't want him to pass me. I want to be on the podium.
Well, guess what? Our suggested picks may not have a decent day.
Yeah.
When you come to Talladega, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
can be hero or
Absolutely.
zero in one lap.
Yeah.
And speaking of going from hero to zero, that was Chase Elliott on Sunday from
Yeah.
first to last. So that's that. Armani, do you think we should get to the race recap?
Yeah, let's just you already started talking about the Dover race, so might as well.
Yeah, the Dover
Yeah.
race was a Driving 400 for the first race of the round of 12 and the 30th race of the 2019 Cup Series season. Kyle Larson breaks a 75 race winless streak to claim victory at Dover, a track he previously found his best finish there at second from 2016. Larson, a playoff driver, led 154 laps, started second off the grid. Speaking of the driver who finished second, that is the spring race winner, Martin Truex Jr., who led only 15 laps, won stage 2, and started third. Alex Bowman, who made headlines or nearly winning the race back in May, finished third on the racetrack. Alex Bowman did a really good job. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, your top five, and Hamlin led the most laps at 218. He won stage 1 and rolled off the grid from pole.
Yep.
Kyle Busch started 18th to finish a solid 6th. Matt DiBenedetto is the highest non-playoff driver. Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch make 3 non-playoff drivers in the top 10. And Clint Bowyer to roll out the top 10. Now, here's the playoff drivers that did not finish in the top 10, and I'll read off them right now. Brad Keselowski, 11th, started 16th. He had a pretty 50-50 car. It just wasn't his day.
Yeah.
William Byron led a lap, started 6th, but stumbled with a penalty during his pit stop. So he did redeem to finish 13th. It could have been worse. Joey Logano started from the garage area. He did not take the green flag, but he returned the racetrack and finished 34th.
You're right.
Now,
That was unfortunate.
very. Ryan Blaney, speaking of Penske, Ryan Blaney finished 35th, retired from the race due to a suspension problem. He started 10th, and all the way last in 38th place was Chase Elliott. He started 5th and retired from the race 8 laps in with an engine failure.
Yep.
All right. Of those playoff drivers I mentioned, which ones are your winners? Which are the losers?
For me,
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, the losers are basically Ryan Blaney because, like, we're going to Talladega, which unknown, and Kansas. He's not been that good at Kansas. But for the winners, I think that Chase Elliott he's been doing good at Kansas and Dega. Also, Joe Logano, he's 8th. He is barely in. But Joe Logano, he's run good at the plate tracks and he's good at Kansas. But I think Ryan Blaney, he has to basically do good. Yeah, so
He's minus 22 points below the cut line.
And for me, Kevin. No, I was about to say, Joey Logano going into Talladega. Joey Logano is definitely someone to look out for in Talladega because he has 3 wins there. And he can easily punch his ticket to the round of 8.
Yeah, 2 of which were consecutive wins at the fall race at Talladega, which was, of course,
2015
and 2016.
Yep.
And they were both capitalizers for sure. I think Joey Logano and Ford, if you look at Ford and the racing at Talladega, in fact, like the last few years, Chase Elliott became the first Chevrolet since Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yep.
At Talladega since 2015. It's been that long. Basically, the first non-Ford, to clarify, the first non-Ford to win at Talladega. Yeah. So, excluding Chase Elliott and Dale Earnhardt Jr. from 2019 and 2015, they've been all blue ovals.
Yep.
Blue ovals.
Seriously, man, I cannot deny their talent. And just they have a great setup, but we've seen the tables turn a little. Toyota and the Daytona 500, they've worked it out. 1, 2, 3 finished to Denny Hamlin at Daytona, and then Talladega. We had Chase Elliott lead Alex Bowman and a trail of Chevys to win.
Yeah.
Justin Haley at Daytona. Say what you want about the race, it's still a Chevrolet that won in the end.
Yeah.
Ford has not won a plate race since, or Talladega really since last year with Almirola.
So
but that's for later on. Let's stay in the topic of Dover.
Yeah.
Because we do have to talk about the Cup Series race.
Which that race was interesting. There was only 1 caution for Chase Elliott's blown engine. All the other cautions were the stage cautions. It was green flag and only 8 cars on the lead lap.
That was a great, clean race. I tell you, one of the better.
Yeah, that was a good, clean race. But
yeah, and
I'm gonna tell you what, man. Talladega, forget about it. It's gonna be a wreck fest.
Also,
it will be an absolute wreck fest.
We'll talk about Talladega later on because.
Did you hear about Denny Hamlin? What he said? He said that Joe Logano has no reason being up there 34 laps down, but which I would say Logano would have had a fast car, but
for sure.
And he could have catch Garrett Smithley. He was only 2 laps behind Smithley.
And every position matters, right? Even if he's battling against, how many back marks can I unlap myself from to pass?
Yeah, he was close to unlap himself from Garrett Smithley in the 54 car, which he was only 2 laps behind.
All right, here I want to talk about the points that this is kind of going to be like a little bit of NASCAR by the numbers because me and Will haven't been able to do that.
So before
where is Will, by the way?
And he's having dinner with his mother. It's her birthday.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday to Will, mom, by the way. But let me talk about the losers, the points, and all that stuff. So
before we get into that, I want to ask something for those of us that don't know about this term. Joe, you said something about blue ovals. What exactly does that refer to?
Fords.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. My mistake.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, my last name is Ford, by the way, Blake.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna share screen with you guys the point standings as they stand after Dover. So here they are. Kyle Larson is the first driver to lock in. He'll be his first appearance in the round of 8, along with Chip Ganaski's first appearance in the round of 8. Truex is plus 63, so he's a full race behind. He's a full race ahead of the
I was gonna say behind.
No, he's actually okay.
Hold on a second.
He's first in the points.
Yeah,
But
he is first in
with
points.
Kyle Larson's win,
But Kyle Larson
They
is
really did.
locked in. They just put
he
locked
just
in.
advanced into the next round, and that's the
Yeah.
only difference.
Hamlin and Kyle Busch are both plus 48. Harvick is plus 42. That's going to go away. Kozlowski's plus 20, Bowman plus 17, and William Byron and Joey Logano are tied.
Yeah,
But
this
since
is
William Byron finished ahead of Joey
Yeah,
When
this
it really
is
do
hard.
matter with Logano.
he had a
Logano.
tiebreak.
Hey,
Boy, hold on.
Armani.
Yeah.
What'd you say about Harvick plus 42?
It ain't over until he's officially locked in.
It ain't over yet. It ain't
Oh,
over by a long
God.
shot. Yeah.
now I'm getting kind of worried.
And
Not
where did he
logical,
finish? He
Armani.
finished
Oh.
fourth, right?
Clint
Gonna make
Boyer
that a
is
round
one-
of 8.
We'll talk about it later. You know he's not.
Wait.
Boyer is
Hold on.
7, Blaney 22.
Wait,
Let's
hold
get
on.
through the rest of the points for a moment because you
Yeah.
got Joey Logano, Clint Boyer -4 in 10th, Chase Elliott in 11th -7, and Ryan Blaney -22 in 12th for the round. of
Ew.
12. You got to make it to 8th place to move on.
All right, here's where I like going, and here's who I like and who I don't like. William Byron, Kansas, I don't really see him doing anything there. Talladega's a wild card. Clint Boyer, I don't really see him doing anything. I don't think he's a top 8 driver this season. Chase Elliott and Joey Logano, it wouldn't surprise me to see them out at this round because Logano, really, ever since his win at Michigan, has just been irrelevant. And Chase Elliott is very hit or miss this season, so it wouldn't surprise me. And Ryan Blaney, I think he's done for. Kansas probably his only best shot because he's really good at Kansas, especially during his time with the Wood brothers.
Like,
But I don't really see him doing anything. I mean, Ryan Blaney, he's just been non-existent this season. Like, it's like this season is really like wondering, like, unless it's the crew chief, because I think Ryan Blaney is a good driver. They probably just need to get a new crew chief in my opinion. Because Jeremy Bowen's like he's just
chemistry.
like Jeremy Bowen's just been. He's not been doing that. The only
Whoa.
race he's really been. You can really see him winning this season was Phoenix all the way back in March.
wait,
Back to it. Alex Bowman. I like Alex Bowman.
plus 17.
He finished second at Talladega and second at Kansas. He can run well at those tracks. My only issue with Alex Bowman is Kansas because Alex Bowman, he's good at the mile and a half, but only when we're at the night. Unless Kansas rains out, it's going to be a day race. So Alex Bowman,
But
he hasn't really been
Time
that
of day
flashy
doesn't
at
really
the-
have much of an impact on the race.
But-
Yes, it does. We've seen it with this
unless-
aero package.
he finished 6th at Vegas. in
Yeah,
the day.
Vegas ended at the night. Well, yeah,
But
Vegas
you-
in the day.
I can't call that a night race in my opinion. It was just a
It's-
night race for the East Coast viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Let me explain to you
Yeah.
how it actually does make a difference with this aero package. Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott, they were irrelevant during Atlanta and the first Vegas race.
Well, Atlanta, that's Greg Ives couldn't set up a car. Most of the season was Greg Ives that didn't know what to do with the car.
I talked about it before, how there are drivers who are good at this package at the night at the mile and a half. And like I said, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman are my top 3. Because you can tell the performance difference. Like I said, they were nowhere. Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman, they were nowhere in Atlanta. They were nowhere in Vegas.
Well,
But come Kansas and Chicagoland, they're up at the front. They're running top 5.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Las Vegas race at the night. So it does play a difference. And even
I-
Kentucky, the only real like iffy one was Kentucky. But
And the
my opinions on
chemistry is
Kentucky.
established now. There's a difference between, going to the track
Well-
early in the season versus racing, later on. Now the teams know each other. They're
Yeah,
finding more close to
and
one
also-
another. They know how to put the cars together.
Yeah,
And
because,
everything
like-
in the shop is just the same. That's how it works
like how
in the end.
remember the first 9 races of the season? How Alex Bowman did not do well. Like I don't know.
He didn't get a top 10 until that second place at Talladega.
Like he
Three
just
consecutive second place finishes.
Coming
like
out of Richmond, he was 21st in points.
yeah, which was
Yeah,
really,
that's true.
and also I remember that his best finish before that top 10 at Talladega was
Was
11th.
At
And then-
Atlanta, I believe.
He had 15th place finishes, 23rd.
Very mediocre.
Oh,
And in fact,
Yeah.
part of me thought, I knew deep down inside they were going to get out of that slump, and they did. Especially, I think that started right after Talladega when Dover and Kansas took place. They just
yeah.
Yes, but the story of the season is just inconsistency galore.
Yeah.
absolutely, especially when it comes to a driver like Ryan Blaney or even Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott stepped it up now. I'm seeing a lot more steady performances by that 9 team, but that slump
Yeah.
they had in the summer when they
Ooh,
were top 10 finishes from the first Pocono race back in June, all the way until the win at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, Watkins
They
won.
are prone to slumps like that, and whether you see it or not, you have to dig down and look at the stats. Chase Elliott is a great driver, don't get me wrong, but I still find the weaknesses. Talladega and Kansas are two great tracks for Elliott. He's won there both before. He won Talladega this year. He won Kansas this year. I think Chase Elliott.
Last year. He won Kansas.
Yeah, make that last year. I think Chase Elliott is going to turn the dial and make it to the round of 8.
All right, let me explain. So, I mean, numbers wise, fifth and up are good. I have my opinion on who's P5 at point, but we'll get to that later. 6 through 12 are the definition of inconsistency. Ever since Brad Keselowski won at Kansas, he's been very hit or miss. Me and we'll talk about it on NASCAR by the numbers. Sometimes Brad Keselowski looks like he's the best driver in the garage. Other times you wonder why, you forget he's on the track. Alex Bowman, he's had a turnaround season. He has 6 top 5s on the season. He has more than Kurt Busch. He has more than I think he has the second most top 5s in Hendrick Motorsports.
Okay, that's interesting.
But he only has 10 top 10s on the season.
Well,
he has 20 finishes outside the top 10. His average finish is like 13th, which is not bad. But then again, it's like a round of 8. It wouldn't surprise me if he pulled like a Ryan Blaney did in 2017, where he made it to the round of 8. He could be a dark horse round of 8. But that 88, like I said, like they're very, very hit or miss. Either they're top 10 drivers or they're either the top 10, top 5, or they're in the 20s, like they were at Richmond. William Byron, he just needs to learn, in my opinion. Like, I don't think he's round of 8 ready. He's lucky to make it to the round of 12, even though I had him making the round of 12 because he's been like a 12. He's been top 12 all point. Yeah, he's been like 12.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's been better.
He's been top 12 the entire season. Wow. So,
yeah, that's true.
William Byron, I don't think he's round of 8 ready. I mean, that team, they still lack putting a full race together. I mean, you saw this today. He was running top 5 the entire race, and then next thing you know, he finishes like 13th. That team lacks.
They have I see the Chad Knaus in their performance this year. I can see where the impact of Knaus's involvement with the team has started to rise. If you look last year, I know William Byron was a rookie. He had just 4 top 10s the entire 36 race tour. But now he's got 11 top 10s, 3 top 5s, and his average finish so far is, if I'm not mistaken, it's 14.1. Yeah, according to Racing Reference, it's 14.1. Thanks, Racing Reference, for the stats. But there's a turn in the dial here. You're right, though. I wouldn't be surprised if William Byron doesn't make it to the next round. But with the problems Ryan Blaney faced at Dover, is there time and room for that 12 team to recover?
I don't.
Or is that just going to help get Byron into the next round?
You're talking about problem with the 12 team. They've been good, but I don't know how good they are compared to Logano and Keselowski. Like at the plate tracks, I don't see Blaney up there sometimes. Sometimes I see him mid-pack at plate tracks, while I see like
the experience in Logano and Keselowski.
They're up front while Blaney's like 15th to 20th.
Okay, so I'm looking here at Ryan Blaney, and I pulled up his Racing Reference stats for 2019, and I've noticed that the last 5 races, just regardless of the playoff rounds, very inconsistent. Look at the 35th place finish. Retired last week. 2 weeks ago, finished 8th. A 17th at Richmond, which Ronnie says one of his more weaker tracks.
Yeah,
well, it is his weakest track. His average finish at Richmond is like 26.
What about his?
Then they got my answer. Got my question answered. Vegas 5th, Indianapolis 7th, Darlington 13th, the 10th at Bristol, a track where Ryan Blaney is usually good at. He dominated the first race at Bristol, not the second one. And an abysmal 24th in Michigan, a track where Penske Fords are usually supposed to find victory lane. I see where it gets a little bumpy there. he might need a new crew chief. In fact, I think Jeremy Bolins isn't the ideal crew chief for Ryan Blaney. I think he's got to get someone else.
They need to. They need to change something on that 12 team because, like, Ryan Blaney again. Like, Jeremy. They've been together since his rookie season 2016. But like Ryan Blaney, like I like to we call Alan Kowicki Mr. Consistent. I call Ryan Blaney Mr. Inconsistent. Like I said, sometimes he's running top 10 and it's like, oh wow, he's got a shot to win the race. Other times you wonder why he's in a Penske car to begin with. Like he's running 25th or 18th the entire race in a Penske car. So, and like the only reason he's really been top 10 in points all season long is because of stage points. The finishes are not there. That's the fact. Yeah. I mean, it was that bad. I had Ryan Blaney out of the round of 16, and he just barely made it into the round of 12. Keep that in mind. I don't see him making it past the round of 8 unless he pulls a Hail Mary. Clint Boyer, like I said, he's not a round of 8 driver this season. But then again, with Talladega, anything is possible.
Chase Elliott, time winner at Talladega.
Chase Elliott -7. I mean, he could come out of that. He won Talladega, and here's the interesting fact. In all 3 of Chase Elliott's wins this season, including Talladega, he's led the most laps. I believe it was 42 laps he led at Talladega, 82 I believe he led at Watkins Glen, and he led I don't know the exact number at the World, but I know he led the most laps. So every win Chase Elliott has had, he's led the most laps. So what Chase Elliott needs to perform, he can perform. And Talladega is one of his best tracks. He's one of the best plate racers in the field. So I'm still calling it a plate track because like a super speedway by that definition, you could count Pocono and Michigan and Auto Club's super speedway. So, but that's a rant for another day. So Chase Elliott, I think, will come out of it. He's always been good at Kansas. He's always been good at Talladega. Joey Logano's been weird. Like, ever since Michigan, you haven't really seen him. Like, that it's like what Kyle Busch. That first
I think listen, Joey Logano has got his good race. He had 17 top 10 and 10 top 5s. Okay, after his last Michigan race, it started to get bumpy, which you said. 23rd place at Sonoma. This is like Sonoma and Logano do not go hand in hand. Chicago in 3rd place, 25th at Daytona. And then yeah, you're right. Like, I haven't seen a really good run by Logano until Las Vegas, where he had the race in the bag, but slithered down for 9th place. He led 105 laps.
Well, he also did get checked up by Matt Benedetto.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Indianapolis, he finished 2nd. Just looking around here, but this is where Logano gets a bit weak. You know, Watkins Glen 23rd, Michigan 17th, Bristol 16th, Darlington 14th, and basically from round 20 at Loudon to round 26 at Indy, no top 10s.
Oh.
He went 5 straight races without a top 10 finish. That's very unlike Logano.
So here's my take. If you were to ask me now who's going to be out of the round of 12, I'm going with Clint Boyer, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and what I've been slowly, like, people are starting to notice, Kevin Harvick.
Absolutely not. We are not going there again.
Wait. By the way,
not complaining all the way down.
Hey, you know the next race at Talladega, I checked up. Ryan Blaney's average finish is 20.8. Which that is not a good average finish at Talladega.
To be fair, is there anyone really in the field with an average finish inside the top 10 at Talladega?
Ty Dillon maybe? Wait.
Ty Dillon only has like
based on luck.
My question, does Ty Dillon have any DNFs this season? I think he has
he doesn't. He has 0 DNFs.
That is shock. That is really
In
interesting.
general,
he only has 3 stage wins.
No, Ty Dillon has 2.
In general, a plate track, the way it is, a lot of luck is involved.
Yeah, you can't really take Talladega. You can't really take stats. The only stat you can really take seriously is like wins. But like top 5, top 10, you can't really take it too seriously. Because I mean, like Corey LaJoie has a couple top 10s at Talladega.
Right.
And
it's not about knowing the track. It's about the circumstances. Knowing the track is just... I mean, it's a big old how you not know the track.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you lead a couple laps.
It's like a 190-mile-per-hour chess game.
Like in terms of knowing the track.
Right.
like in terms of knowing the track, like that's really, it's like, okay, how many laps is he gonna lead? Is he gonna lead any laps? But as for actually like finishes, it's like,
I mean, this is a great topic for later on. I mean,
at the end of the day,
no,
you really just have to take it with a grain of salt. But we'll get
Yeah.
into when
Yeah.
we really start talking about Talladega.
we got an Xfinity race to talk about here. You guys ready?
Yep. Yep.
All right. So this was Dover 200, was the last race of the first round, which was the round of 12 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs for race 29 of the 33 race season. Cole Custer wins a record 7th race of 2019. He's the winningest
Yeah.
driver of the contenders for the Xfinity Series title.
with Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
Top
hands down.
10 look like this. And this is the end of round 1, so I did label the drivers who did get eliminated. Cole Custer led 31 laps and started 3rd to get the win. Justin Allgaier won stage 1. Stage 2
Yeah.
led 67 laps and finished 2nd after starting 8th off the grid. Austin Cindric led 29 laps, finished 3rd. Justin Haley is the highest driver to get eliminated from the playoffs. He finished 4th, started 11th. Chase Briscoe dominated the race until that late caution, leading 71 laps. He
Yeah.
started 5th and finished 5th. You'll see him in the round of 8. Michael
Yeah.
Annett made his trek to the round of 8 with success. A
Yeah.
6th place finish and leading a lap. He started 16th. Noah Gragson started 7th. He finished 7th. John Hunter Nemechek is the second highest eliminated driver for the playoffs. He finished 8th after starting 17th, dealing with some car issues. Zane Smith is the lone non-playoff driver inside the top 10 with a 9th place finish driving for Dale Jr. And Ryan Sieg
Yeah.
is the 3rd highest playoff eliminated driver. He finished 10th, started 15th. Now, the notables that's outside the top 10 from the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs look like this. Tyler Reddick
12.
will go to the next round. He finished 12th. He started 4th, had the incident on lap 1. Christopher Bell finished 25th. He retired from the race, started 6th. And Brandon Jones is the 4th and final driver to get eliminated from the playoffs. Finished 37th, retired, and started 9th from the race. So the Xfinity Series, they will have a week off
Yep.
before kicking off round 2 of the playoffs, which will be an 8-driver
Yep.
championship battle
Going in
the next 3 races. So
Yep.
Kansas,
Texas.
and ISM in Phoenix.
Yep.
And so here's what the round of 8 will look like starting next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend
Yeah.
at Kansas Speedway. Christopher Bell with 62 bonus points will be first seed. Cole Custer, 2nd with 50 bonus points. Tyler Reddick is 3rd with 44 bonus points to his name. Austin Cindric claimed 17 bonus points, enough to put him 4th seed of the round of 8. Justin Allgaier, 5th. Chase Briscoe, Michael Annett, and Noah Gragson. And like I mentioned, the 4 eliminated drivers
Oh,
that will no longer continue for the playoffs. John Hunter Nemechek, Justin Haley, Ryan Sieg, and Brandon Jones. So the Xfinity guys finally get a weekend off,
yep.
but it's game time.
Yep.
All
it
right,
is.
so here's my take on it. So let's take a look at the top 8 drivers. So we got
Right.
Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer, Christopher Bell. I want to say all 3 of them were locked in, but as we saw last year, we thought Christopher Bell was a lock for Homestead, and 2 finishes outside the top 30 put him at Phoenix in a must-win situation. Granted, he won the thing, but he was very
Wow.
close to
He
missing
was
out on
in
the
a
final
position.
four.
If he didn't win that race, he would have been out.
Hey,
exactly.
well, Allgaier.
Oh
missed
yeah, that's
it.
true.
Well,
Allgaier was
Yeah.
close.
My point is, it ain't over until it's over.
Well, Texas.
right.
Texas, she should have won, but no. Spencer Boyd can't drive. That's why he's stuck in the Truck Series. Sorry,
All right.
Spencer Boyd. Sorry if you're watching.
I'm sure he's very.
Nah, I doubt he's.
Spencer Boyd and I are big time friends in NASCAR Heat 4. All right, back. So, but Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick, they're basically locks from just the general, it's like using common sense perspective. Austin, I think the ones to be looking at for the cutoff line are going to be Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe. They've been, besides, I mean, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, they have more top 10s of the season than Christopher Bell and Cole Custer. I think Chase Briscoe's the second most top 10s of the season. So Chase Briscoe has been
Wow.
very consistent. He's been,
Yeah.
in a way, he had more top 10s, I think, than Cole Custer does. So Chase Briscoe is very, very consistent. But
Yeah.
the question
As much as I like Austin Cindric, he's definitely out
I just don't see him going in the Final Four. I think Allgaier is
Yeah,
going to
he's
prevail
definitely not making the Final Four.
Here, let me actually pull up the actual like what the point standings are looking like. Just give me 1
So
second.
here's my take on it, right?
Yeah, give your takes while I look up the points.
That's
Custer, Bell, definitely going to Homestead. Allgaier is definitely making it, and who else is gonna?
So you're at 3. You have Custer, Bell, and Allgaier.
Yeah,
Then Reddick has to be the 4th. How can he not?
definitely Reddick.
And that's my Final Four. You just answered my question. My Final Four matches your Final Four. I have Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer, and Justin Allgaier.
Mine is kind of weird. Kind of. Mine, I have Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick. But my 4th driver, he's been doing good this season. He has a win this season at Iowa Speedway. I think somehow Chase Briscoe will get into the Final Four because he'll run so consistently and running up front that he could get stage points and beat Austin Cindric and the other competitors.
You know, I actually think that's a possibility, to be honest, because Chase Briscoe has put up the numbers. In fact, he should have won that Dover race.
Yep.
It looked like his for a great period of time.
But that caution with Dylan Bassett late in the race and not helped him.
Never recovered.
All right, so here's my Final Four, and I'm going to give you reasons why each driver is going to make it. Each driver, like I said, the big 3, it's self-explanatory. My 4th driver is Chase Briscoe. He's been the 2nd most consistent driver in the field. Cole Custer and Christopher Bell, yeah, they've been more dominant, but they can also at the same time be very hit or miss. When they're bad, they do bad. When Chase Briscoe does bad, he's doing like 10th. When Cole Custer, Christopher Bell are doing bad, they DNF. So that's why I got Chase Briscoe making it as the 4th seed, basically the same as Justin. So let me explain why I don't want the other guys making it. Austin Cindric, I've really been debating on whether to include Cindric or Briscoe. I just went with Briscoe just because of consistency. And I think Chase Briscoe's finally starting to show, the team's finally starting to show winning speed again.
But
which
so
is something they've been lacking.
But so is Cindric. It's been a little too late for Austin Cindric, though. I do agree.
So Austin Cindric,
Cindric's definitely out.
Cindric, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make the Final Four, but I just think Chase Briscoe is going to be ahead of him. They've just been very equal this season, in my opinion. Justin Allgaier, the team can't execute for the life of it. Whether it's bad luck or bad pick calls, I mean, he got like 12 top 5s in this. He's having a very Kyle Larson season last year, where in the sense of
I could definitely agree.
Where it's like, yeah, he's running up front, but they can't get a win for the life of him. And Justin Allgaier, he is having horrible luck, and the team can't execute for the life of him, in my opinion. They're not Final Four contenders, in my opinion.
Here's my counter argument. This is why I have Justin Allgaier making the Final Four. If you look at his last 5 races, the 2nd in Indy, 5th at Vegas, and 2 consecutive 4th place finishes in over a 2nd, that is consistent runs. And in fact, Allgaier has not finished outside the top 10 since round 16 at Daytona, and that was only 17 plates.
Wait, are you sure? What about?
I'm sure. I have the stats right in front of my eyes.
What about the Bristol race where he?
The Bristol race, he still managed to finish 8th.
What? I thought he would have finished like 20.
Well, that's because everybody seemed to retire from the race. And
Timmy.
And I'll tell you, in fact, it came to that point. Timmy Hill got top 10. In fact, there was only
2029 champ right there.
6 cars on the lead lap. So that's another story.
Okay, I thought he would have.
Allgaier, okay. Justin Allgaier has finished outside the top 20 for a grand total of 4 times. That's not bad. That's not horrible. In fact, if his average finish is 9.4 and an average start 7.2, he's doing something right because he's got 14 top 5s, and you get a 1/5 chance if you have a top 5 to win a race, and that hasn't happened. Even though he's there, he's got 21 top 10s. I just think Allgaier has that ideology to make the Final Four. The team will execute. And not to mention, they've been together for 4 seasons by now.
If Allgaier wants to make the Final Four, he has to win, and I don't see him winning any of these races. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But listen, I don't have my arms crossed saying you must win.
Bad
You're
luck.
Allgaier.
Like, in my opinion, it's win or miss it for Allgaier. Like, he's only -3, but the fact that he's even below the cut line should scare him, considering where he was last year and really 2017 also. So I don't think Allgaier's making for that reason. Chase, Michael and Annette, they're now round of 8. They're not
Yeah.
Final Four contenders, in my opinion. Even though, in my opinion, you can argue with me about it if you want. He's been the best driver at JRM right now. He's been more consistent than Allgaier. Allgaier, he's been, I guess, better from like the stats perspective, but Allgaier to me is like Chris. Here's the thing: Allgaier to me is like Christopher Bell this season. He's either running top 5, top 10, or something happens to him where he's taken out of contention. At least Michael Annett, he's consistently inside the top 10.
I have something interesting. Michael Annett actually has a better season on average. In fact, in equal season, if you go back, maybe not better. Excuse me on that. The 2012 NASCAR Nationwide Series, he finished 9th in the points and has almost the same equal stats that he has as we speak. And I think
Wow.
surpass it. 6 top 5s and 17 top 10s. He drove for Richard Petty, mind you, and their Xfinity program was very lackluster before shutting down.
Hold on. Before we continue, Justin.
What?
I see what you put.
Hey, Brandon. Hey, if he finishes out 12th place in the point, he will rebound and gain 11 spots because Christopher Bell's not going to be racing for the championship. Cole Custer might not either. So, and then Michael Annett will probably have a bad season. Gregson's probably just going to not try. Allgaier is maybe going to be there. Maybe Brandon Jones will win every pole of the season and every race.
Yeah, the guy who was less than 100 points behind Greg
12th in the points right now.
And 12th in the points that JGR is going to win the championship. Okay.
Well,
No,
I did make the bet for 2020.
Though I did, unfortunately. Though I did make the bet where if Harvick does make the round of 8, I do have to buy Brandon Jones merch.
Well, looks like that's going to come to fruition, but
it ain't happening.
You should have had the bet the other way around. If Harvick didn't make it, then you buy his stuff and humiliate.
No, I said Harvick isn't gonna make it.
So either way, you're gonna humiliate yourself.
Yeah, either way.
No,
bro. Oh no! If Harvick doesn't make it, I already said I'm looking for foot sizes right now. Believe me.
Well, you know it's not gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, he's not gonna make it. But and Noah Gragson. I mean, he's not even been in contention to win anything this season, so that's why I don't have him making it either. So
yeah, you're right. Noah Gragson, I just don't know about if he might turn things around next year.
Hey, wait.
I'm shaking my head right now.
Well,
I mean, he's had a good season. Don't get me wrong, but
wait. He may get lucky at Kansas because you know what car he ran? He ran the PUBG car. He's gonna run it again. He might get lucky and somehow get good.
No, not
someone's a fan of PUBG.
Okay, so I think we covered everything for Xfinity. We're about to jump ship to sports car racing. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, the FIA World Endurance Championship had their second race of the season. The 2019-2020 campaign took place at the famous Fuji 6-hour race. And by no surprise, Toyota finished 1 and 2. They're the lone factory LMP1 team. Of course, new regulations starting in 2021. The hypercar class, we'll see these things go differently. But for now, Toyota can enjoy their success, winning at home with a 1-2 finish. The number 1 Rebellion finished 3rd.
Yeah.
In fact, they had some speed in qualifying. In fact, the Toyota drivers noticed their impressive lap times. In fact, they were contending early on in the race to get to them. We'll talk about them in a moment. It's a very interesting story about the team from Switzerland. And then 4th and 5th place was the 2 Team L&T cars. Number 6 finished 4th. Number 5 finished 5th.
That's in the class. Overall,
I'm talking about in the class. I'm not doing overall. I'm looking at the 4 classes solely. Yeah. LMP2 class results, the top 5 had the number 29 Racing Team Netherlands, an all Dutch crew finishing 1st place. The number 37 Jackie Chan DC Racing, and congratulations, David Chang, the co-owner for Jackie Chan DC Racing. He got married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they can celebrate a podium as well. United Autosport number 22 finished third. The High Class Racing number 33 finished fourth. And my pick, the Cool Racing number 42 car, finished fifth. And that was my Spa pick, wasn't it? Actually, no, I meant Silverstone. I always get the two tracks confused. We'll be at Spa later.
Yeah.
The Silverstone 4 hours was over a month ago for round 1 of the season. Let's move on to the GT class. Let's start with GT Pro. There were only 6 entries, and we'll be talking about those same cars this weekend for another race, which we'll talk about on their upcoming races, that's being the Petit Le Mans. But for now, let's talk about the GT Pro class. The number 95 Aston Martin won over the 92 Porsche, finished second. The 97 Aston Martin third in class, and then the 2 Ferraris from AF Corsa, fourth and fifth. Number 51 claimed fourth, and the 71 got fifth. And sixth place, we had the number 91 Porsche. My pick to win. They must have had some issues because they were numerous laps down. GTM class, the number 90 TF Sport Aston Martin won over the number 83 AF Corsa Ferrari. Team Project 1 Porsche number 57 finished third. The number 70 MR Racing Ferrari claimed fourth. And the number 77 Dempsey Proton Racing Porsche finished fifth. And that was my pick.
My pick was the 57 with Ben Keating because I knew Ben Keating and their group, they were going to do good.
Yeah, they finished third.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Well, let's move on to the championship standings. So where the LMP1 standings in GT Pro, I'm just doing it off manufacturers because there's like hardly anyone in the class. The Toyota Gazoo Racing team has the lead. They have 52 points. They're miles ahead of everybody else. Just the 2 other classes. Rebellion Racing, 17 points, and with 16 points claim is Team LNT. For the GT Pro class, Porsche leads their championship with 70 points over Aston Martin Racing, sixth. Actually make that 55 points, and Ferrari with 43 points claimed this year. As for the team championships in LMP2 class, the LMP2 championship looks like this. The Racing Team Netherlands has the lead, 41 point claimed. And then second place with 33 points claimed is the Cool Racing number 42. Third place is the number 38 Jota Sport, which they've claimed 28 points, just like the number 37 Jackie Chan DC Racing car. They claimed 28 points as well. They sit fourth in the standings. And the Signatec Alpine car, the French crew, they are fifth with 24 points claimed so far. Now on to the GTE AM class standings. The number 83 AF Corsa Ferrari has the championship lead, a 10-point lead. They have 43 points claimed so far over the number 90 TF Sport car, the car that just won this past race here in the Aston Martin. They have the number 90 car. They have 33 points claimed. The number 70 MR Racing car with 27 points claimed. The number 77 Dempsey Proton machine, the Porsche, owned by actor Patrick Dempsey, 20 points claimed. And fifth place in the GTAM championship, we have Aston Martin Racing, number 98, with 18.5 points claimed this year. They do have half points in this division.
Oh, I was wondering because I'm like half.
Yeah, they have half points.
They should bring
Blake,
that back in F1.
Did you watch the race this weekend or this past weekend? Well,
What was that?
Oh, Blake, I was trying to get Blake.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking somebody else.
No, I was asking you. Did you watch the race?
I was unable to because I was on a trip with some family.
Okay.
However, I did look up all the results and all of that. so I am in the know of what happened.
Okay. For me, I watched part of it. I was on Skype for part of the start where it was kind of hard to watch it because the YouTube stream took down, and then there was a Spanish live stream with gunshot noises. Someone played video games.
Yeah, like
in the background.
yeah. Basically,
And then-
to remove copyright.
And then I found another one which was good. Joseph was saying it's weird how the FIA has their new ticker layout. For
Yeah, I
W.
don't like the new ticker, to be
Yeah.
honest. I think
Yeah.
it's too extravagant. Like, I don't want to see
Yeah.
this thing in the middle of the screen say safety car. Like, just
Yeah,
have it on
Yeah,
the
it looks
corner or the
horrible, to
top
be
or the
honest.
bottom.
yeah,
Leave it
yeah.
there.
But the race was good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was really good. And
Unfortunately, I didn't catch up on it because I'm not that big into WEC anyway.
The
I'm
next
mostly into IMSA.
the next race we have under WC, and luckily for sports car racing, you don't use just one sanctioning body. It's based off key specific crown jewel events, and the sanctioning body doesn't really matter. It's just about the spec of the car and the level of competition. But as for the WEC race, the next time we'll see that
Shanghai.
in China for the 4-hour race. It used to be a 6-hour race, and I still disagree. I think it should be a 6-hour race in
But
Shanghai.
then,
November 10th.
which that is, wait, I have to check. I have to go check.
It's November
Wait,
10th.
let me
I have
go
it
and
on my notes.
Oh, it's the same day as the it's early morning before the cup race at Phoenix. So, and that means that, and also Rick Ware Racing.
Yeah, Rick Ware Racing will debut.
Yeah.
As well
Yeah.
as the Asian Le Mans series. In fact, they will
Yeah.
be in the same weekend. And Cody
Yeah.
Ware will drive that LMP2 car. So
Yeah.
keep your eye out on that. Rick
Yep.
Ware Racing and
Yep.
in endurance racing. They'll join the
Yeah.
4 hours of Shanghai.
I
With
did
Yeah.
not.
Cody
I
Ware.
did not get that news, which is surprising to me because I'm big into sports car racing.
Rick Ware Racing 2021 champs.
We'll have to see. I mean, it's his building
No,
blocks.
no. Rick Ware Racing 2019 2020 champs.
Listen, I mean, they're a little too late for that. But
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
on forward, I mean, we're going to race some other events in the LMP2 category, and including the Daytona 24 hours, which you'll see them run the Rolex in January. So that's something to look out for. Now, I think we'll cover more sports car racing later
Right.
on because I think we'll just tie them into
We
the.
also have
Let's
yeah.
move on to the
Yeah.
others category.
we had
Starting with ARCA, the 20 race schedule is down to one event. We're now around 19 and 20 at IRP that just took place. Here's the top. Here's the drivers I listed down. Each one of them have a storyline. Chandler Smith won. He led 7 laps, and by the way, the race was rain shortened, so
yeah.
they didn't complete full distance.
But
Christian Eckes led 10 laps. Sam Mayer third. Corey Heim fourth. Haley Deegan fifth. Michael Self, the championship contender, sixth, and Ty Gibbs, who led 143 laps, crashed out.
yeah, he had contact with Joe Graff Jr. running second. Body slammed Ty Gibbs into the wall. Like, really?
I missed it. I have to see it again.
When I saw that, I'm like, oh my. I didn't expect Joe Graff Jr. I know Joe Graff Jr. is aggressive, but I didn't expect him to body slam someone into the wall.
That's how he finished 15th.
Yeah.
And the championship looks like this. It's down really. If the driver's mathematically eligible, but really, realistically, it's going to be down to 2. Michael Self.
No. It's Racing Reference and not updated. It's actually
Oh, really?
Self is 20 points behind. Christian
Wow.
Eckes has 20 points because Eckes got second. So
Yeah, because my sheet says Self and then
But
Eckes and
that was
Holmes.
I checked ARCA's website and it says
Okay,
20.
good to know.
so it's Self is 20 points out going to Kansas, which I know Kansas is going to be interesting for the
Did Michael
championship.
Self win the race last year, Kansas?
I think he
think he
did.
did.
He did. No, it's Creed. Creed won it
Oh,
after because I remember because Creed got put in the wall by Kevin Hinkle, a lap car,
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was kind of funny.
and he still won the race in a damaged race
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, he came back. So
Yeah.
that's round 20 of 20, the season finale for
Yeah.
the 2019 ARCA Racing Series. That is
Yeah.
going to be not this weekend, but the next weekend at Kansas in Companion with the NASCAR Cup Series race weekend. So let's move on to the other to continue the miscellaneous category. We have the K&N E-Series, NASCAR's E-Series, round 12 of 12. So this is the final race, the Dover 125, final race of the 2019 E-Series season. Sam Mayer led a blistering 123 laps, too shy of a complete perfect race to win the race and clinch the 2019 championship. Tanner Gray is the only leader besides Sam Mayer. He finished second and led 2 laps. Todd Gilliland and Drew Dollar made a successful run for DGR Crosley Racing, getting their cars in the top 5. And Chase Cabre fell short to Sam Mayer in the championship. He finished 5th in the race. And the final standings look like this for the top 5. Sam Mayer is the 2019 champion for GMS Racing. Chase Cabre second, minus 39. Tanner Gray third, minus 53, tied with Spencer Davis, fourth, minus 53, and Max McLaughlin, minus 71, in 5th.
Yeah.
So, yep, the East Series is done. Well, the West Series still has a few more races left.
We also had that late model
Yes,
race.
the Valley Star Credit Union 300. Good thing I wrote it down. The Martinsville Speedway, which is one of those high prestige late model short track tours around the U.S. Josh Berry had a perfect race. He led every single lap
from the pole
to win.
Yeah, that was good.
Timothy Peters, Bobby McCarty, and Bubba Pollard. That's your top 5.
Wait, that race was interesting. Remember, we also had
that guy Taylor Gray.
Taylor Gray, he's Tanner Gray's brother. He there was a crash in front of me. He literally ramped over a car, barely tapped him, and it rolled him upside down on the back straightaway, which somebody thought only happened in video games, but no, it could happen in real life.
You can climb over a car in late model racing.
Yeah, that was very scary.
But I'm glad he was okay. Scary. He was okay after that crash, and
that stopped the race for a while. They did that lengthy red flag.
Yeah, I'm glad they're okay, man.
Absolutely, that was a hectic race, but the fans got their money's worth. The heat racing and the dozens of nearly 100 entries total for the race weekend, and I think we had 40 cars in the main event.
Yeah,
so fans got their money's worth.
That race also had Truck Series drivers that former. You had Peters, Brendan Poole ran the race.
Payne Sellers.
We also had C.E. Falk III, a late model driver. He was in it, and a lot of notables like Tyler Matthews. 11th place for Colin Garrett. That he races in E-Series. He got a good.
I think this is a good preview for what's to come at the Snowball Derby in 2 months' time.
Yeah.
All right, so we're done with the recap, and let's talk about the upcoming races this weekend. It's action-packed.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about we'll get into the races one by one, and I have all the history from every one of them, starting with. Let's start with the NASCAR Cup Series. Let's just start with the upcoming race weekend. The Talladega 500 is round 31 of 36. For a playoff round of 12, this will be race 2 of 3 in the center of the round of 12 at Talladega. The NASCAR Truck Series take a near month break. Return to the Talladega 250 for race 20 of 23. And for the playoffs, it's the round of 6, race 1 of 3.
Yeah.
And Formula One returns after a week-long hiatus to the famed Suzuka circuit for the Japanese Grand Prix for round 17. And the flagship races, we got 2 flagship races taking place.
Yep.
For the supercars, it's the Bathurst 1000, the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 at the famous Mount Panorama in New South Wales, Australia for round 25 of 32 and for week 12 of the 2019 supercar season. And in sports cars, the highest sports car race of the weekend will be the IMSA WeatherTech Championship at Road Atlanta for the 10-hour race called Petit Le Mans. That's round 12 of 12, and it's the season finale. So sports
Yep.
car racing
Ooh,
will return, and we got 2 big endurance races on
Yeah.
Saturday.
it's gonna be action packed.
Action packed to say the least. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An
All right, let's
absolutely
start off with-
action-packed weekend with
Yeah.
something for everybody to watch.
Absolutely. If you're new getting into the sport, try and watch at least a bit of every single race. You might just turn it into a racing fan. All right, let's start off with the NASCAR Cup Series for the Talladega 500. The first race was ran in 1969, 50 years ago, won
Wow.
by Richard Brickhouse, one of the more upset victors. We never got to expect a guy like Richard Brickhouse win the inaugural Talladega 500. This year was won by Chase Elliott. Last year, Eric Almirola. And the most wins at Talladega, here's the long list of multiple winners. We'll start off with Dale Earnhardt, 10. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 6. Jeff Gordon, 6 wins as well. Brad Keselowski, 5. Bobby Allison, Buddy Baker, Darrell Waltrip have 4 wins at Talladega. Davey Allison, Joey Logano, David Pearson, Cale Yarborough have 3 wins. And Donnie Allison, Clint Boyer, Bill Elliott, Pete Hamilton, Ernie Irvin, Dale Jarrett, Jimmy Johnson, Terry Labonte, Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, Jamie McMurray, and Richard Petty. All of them have 2 wins at Talladega.
Oh wow.
And I'm talking about total wins at the track, no matter
Yeah.
what the date is. The most wins at Talladega by a team, and I'm just counting the fall race because there's so many, is Richard Childress Racing with 8. Hendrick Motorsports has 5 wins in the fall. I'm only counting the fall here. Dale Earnhardt Incorporated and Team Penske have 4 wins. Junior Johnson has 3 wins. Petty Enterprises, Bud Moore, Rainier Lundy, Morgan McClure, Robert Yates Racing, and Roush have 2 wins at Talladega in the fall. For the most make wins in the fall race at Talladega, Chevy leads that with a blistering 21 wins. Ford has 15 wins, including the last 5 consecutive. Dodge has 3, along with Mercury and Buick. They have 3. Plymouth and Oldsmobile have 2 wins, and Toyota has 1 win at the fall at Talladega.
2008, Tony Stewart.
Yeah, that would be
Which-
Stewart's last win
but-
with Joe Gibbs.
Which, if Smith had not passed below the line, Toyota would have no wins
True.
in the chase. That would have been, but that was really.
Little did we
good.
know that would be Tony Stewart's last win in the 20 car.
Yep.
So yeah, of the names I've listed here, there's a melting pot in which involves the stars of the sport like Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Allison, and just other drivers like you throw in Ernie Irvin, to drivers that are upset victors like Clint Boyer. He scored 2
Yeah.
controversial wins at Talladega, to say the least. You could say Jamie McMurray, who won for Roush. His last win with Roush came 10 years ago this weekend.
Yeah.
in
It's
the Tools car. And,
Yeah.
Big
and then his last
anniversary
win,
there.
his last win in NASCAR actually took place at Talladega.
Oh, that
Oh,
race where Austin,
2013.
when Austin Dillon went in the air and caused the caution on the final lap.
Yeah. Looking at some of the other drivers, Brad Keselowski scored his first win in upset fashion back in 2009, learning from the very previous race at Talladega what not to do when being blocked by the race leader. Bill Elliott pulled one of the biggest comebacks and surprises, not the biggest achievements in racing.
Wait.
The fastest driver.
That will never happen again. Like that was under green flags too, which that's interesting. That was under green. There's no cautions. He drove around the track, green flag 3 times to get to the lead.
All under green.
Yeah, that will never happen again now because you need the draft so badly
And with
now.
the prevalence of caution.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't see that coming.
Yeah.
All right. And let's go further on. How about Pete Hamilton, one of the
Yeah.
more upset victors of the Daytona 500 back in 1970? He has 2 wins at Talladega. Let's why not I throw in another driver like Dale Earnhardt Jr., who scored 6 wins at Talladega. I mean, yeah, he was more of the better drivers, but his first win in 2001 was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, his Daytona win was there. We just didn't think he had the car to beat at Talladega, and then he just came out of the little dust and passed Bobby Labonte, and then the field started directly behind, and Dale Jr. won the race, and they won 3 more, if I'm not mistaken. And then not another race again until 2015.
Wait. You know Pete Hamilton? All his wins came at Daytona or Talladega.
Mm-hmm.
2 Daytona 500s and 2 Talladega ones.
He only won 1 Daytona 500 back in 1970.
He won it back in 1971.
No, it was 1970.
No, there's one in 70 and 71. Yes.
He must have won the Firecracker 400 then.
No, he won. Oh, the Daytona. I forgot the Daytona 500 qualifiers counted.
Yes, back then they did.
Yeah, he won the Daytona qualifier.
Yeah.
So that's.
You want to be careful when you look at those stats.
Yeah, so he won 4 races, which at restrictor place, that's really impressive.
Very. I think when it comes to this weekend at Talladega, it's hard to look at stats because the factor of racing on these restrictor plate tracks, it can be very wild card. You get driver, and this will be probably the most concerning race besides the Roval, where drivers who are not in the playoffs might play a key factor or key role on the well-being of other playoff drivers, or whether they regard it or say, no, I'm taking it for myself. And I can give you a good example of Danica Patrick 2014 before that caution came out. Just go out there for yourself. Or even it was Travis Quattle and JJ Yeley were up there at one point. And
Landon Castle.
Landon Castle tried to throw one on Kenseth and nearly took 3rd spot away.
Yeah.
This is one of those tracks where some drivers know it's not just like they're one of their few chances because they're good at racing there. Some drivers and teams depend on Talladega as their only chance to win. So it's going to be exciting. I think the fans, of course, will get their money's worth. But this year, my pick to win at Talladega is going to be, I don't even know what to say. I still can't finalize a decision. I really can't.
It's very tough. Again, we're talking about Talladega here. We're talking about a plate track where, it's really more about circumstance than I don't want to say talent because, there is some talent involved, but more than anything else, luck and circumstance play a key factor. So it's hard to really say a driver that's going to win or do well.
You could be involved in a wreck that was caused of somebody else far ahead of you.
Exactly.
Tire can go flat, and that's the end of 30, or that's the end of almost 20 other cars' races right there. It can be very. It's tough to say, but I think the driver who will win Talladega is Brad Keselowski. And why am I going to say Brad Keselowski? He has the 3rd most wins at the track. He won in 2009 under surprise circumstances, driving for a team that was struggling financially and eventually shut down for James Finch, Phoenix Racing. Yeah. James Finch owned the team. Keselowski failed to qualify for the Daytona 500 earlier that year and failed to qualify for the race right after he won Talladega. So guess what? He cuts his teeth and goes full force and won the race. And by the way, that 2009 Aaron's 499, when Keselowski crossed the finish line after making contact with Carl Edwards, that was his first ever lap led in the Cup Series.
Wow.
But responding to critics, Brad followed through with 4 other great victories at Talladega, especially the 2014 one when he played defense to the uttermost, blocking drivers at his might, like Brian Newman. And
Yeah.
honestly, I thought he was going to get turned at one point or another.
Yeah, remember when Keselowski, remember when Ryan Newman was up high in turn 2 and Keselowski made the block all the
I
way
thought it
up
was turned. I thought it was over.
But because Ryan Newman, he would have been Ryan Newman's just aggressive.
He gave it all. And Brett
Yeah.
had to win the race, if you remember the circumstance.
Oh,
Had to win the
yeah.
race.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, Armani's not here right now, so I guess we can't talk about
What?
Okay,
no.
no, there he is. All right. I was just about to say, like, if we were not going to do our picks for the
Oh
fantasy.
no, we're doing our picks. We're doing our
Okay,
picks.
then we'll
We-
do it.
We thought you died there, Armani.
Not yet. Not yet. All right, who's everyone else got? I
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
someone
yeah,
pick
yeah.
on BK. I want to say one thing about Brad Keselowski. He's very good at Talladega. He's a very talented plate racer. But the main reason I didn't pick Brad Keselowski to win the Daytona 500 is because it seems like as of recently he can't finish a damn plate race. And I actually have his Talladega stats. In the spring of 2017, 7th. Fall 2017, 1st. Spring 2018, 33rd. Fall 2018, 27th.
Ooh.
Spring 2019, 13th. He hasn't finished
Yeah.
inside the top 10 since his last win at Talladega. So Brad Keselowski, he's
Yeah,
a
that's
good
true.
plate racer when he could finish. He just seems to wreck out more times than not. That's why I went with Logano for the 500 over Keselowski, and that's a story in and of itself.
And you know what? Penske overall, except for Blaney, there's only 2 Penske drivers that are good in Talladega: Logano and Keselowski. And
But I wouldn't be shocked if Blaney has
Well-
a good run either. I would think there's still potential of Ryan Blaney, to be honest.
I just don't know. It's just he's been running 15 to 20th there at Talladega.
yeah, that's true.
But it's only
In the
been-
middle of the race, in the beginning
Except-
of the race, he can definitely catch up. Go on, Justin.
Except his best finish was 2015. He was running part-time then for the Wood Brothers. He got 4th. Behind Jimmy Johnson was Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, and Paul Menard. He finished 4th, right behind them. Which that was good for Ryan Blaney, finishing 4th and running part-time in 2015. And for me, my pick for Talladega, he's been running good at the plate tracks this year. He has a pole at a plate track. He's your Daytona 500 pole sitter. I think William Byron is going to win at Talladega.
Ask Joseph about picking William Byron. He'll tell you the glories that he's had.
Hey! He's not going. There's not going to be Kyle Busch checking up in front of him because I don't think Kyle Busch will do that at a plate track. I don't think. I hope not. But I think William Byron will win, and they'll do a good strategy, and they'll win and beat all the other teams.
All right, what about the rest of y'all?
Brad Keselowski.
Yeah. All right, what
I'm gonna
about
have
you?
to go with
Yeah, go with Denny.
I'm gonna have to go with Logano, man.
All right. And what about you, Blake?
It's really tough for me to say. I want to go with Byron, but I mean it's really hard to say. There's a lot of good plate drivers, but then there's also a lot that can happen, and it's like I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Byron.
All right. Now I'm going to go with the GOAT of the NASCAR series. Matt Tifft is winning.
Oh my God, Armani.
You are so regretting this after the. I mean, listen, okay,
Armani,
Justin
listen,
Haley. I
hold
thought
on,
Haley had a
hold on,
lesser
let me
chance to
finish.
win than Matt
Let me
Tifft.
finish. Let me finish. I'm joking. I'm not picking Matt Tifft to win. But then again, Justin Haley won Daytona, so anything's possible.
I
Yeah.
was about
I
say that.
nearly had to say my most
No love for my
famous
man Matt Tifft.
catchphrase.
Damn. No love for my man Matt Tifft.
I was about to say I like
Yeah.
the bold choice.
Kamikaze hates him, so
Who do you have, Dan?
You want a bold choice? You know what?
I mean, Armani.
You know, you want a bold choice.
I want a realistic choice.
I'll give you a bold choice. I don't think we're
Whoa,
gonna. We're not.
whoa.
Listen.
I
Listen.
already
Hold up.
gave my pick.
No, yeah. Hold on. No. Wait a minute. Hold on. So, I don't think a playoff driver is gonna win Talladega.
Oh.
It's gonna be the first time since 2014 with this knockout forward the playoff driver is gonna win. And I don't think it's gonna be a driver that made the playoffs this year. Daniel Suarez will win at Talladega.
You're not
Okay.
wrong.
Okay. That's more legit than Matt Tiff. That's
You know
more
what?
legit.
I'm gonna go Matt Tiff again.
Oh, come on.
You're still gonna regret it.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, Danny, or not Danny, Daniel Pinkham in the chat. Am I right? Kevin Harvick's missing out this round.
Matty D.
Absolutely freaking not.
hey,
Okay,
Matty
Max
did,
Benedetto
for
has
the
a
poll.
realistic shot.
He said for the poll, but yeah, I know it's single car qualifying. It depends how fast the 95 has speed around the track.
I see like a 7th, 8th place.
Usually, this is for Daytona is 2 laps. Play tracks, you go 2 laps around the track. That's qualifying. So basically, just don't. Basically, the only thing you can't do on a qualifying lap at Talladega, don't drive in the outside wall because you're just gonna damage your car.
Ain't rocket science, bud.
Or just don't drive on the apron, like
Just
the whole.
learn from the go past Maldonado.
Or don't. And in the race, when you pit, don't LePage the field like Kevin LePage.
Yeah, it's supposed to go, around the turn.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think we got every pick covered, right?
Yep.
I
Did you
got
get-
Suarez.
Suarez, I think Suarez, he almost won in 2017 before
Yep.
making contact with Chase Elliott at the end. So
Yep.
you're not wrong on that. Let's get into the Truck Series racing, guys. Let's talk about the Truck Series Talladega 250s. The first race.
Thank you. Dan gets it. Dan gets it.
It's the first race.
This is unbelievable.
My man.
It's the first race.
Pinkham, you need to stay
Let
off
the man
the
speak.
weed.
Like, yeah, truck race, Talladega.
Yeah, let's
What-
talk about the Truck Series racing
Hey,
Talladega. So
Last time we raced, plate race was Daytona, which
Austin
so-
Hill.
and so many cars. There was only 9 cars finished. that
Everybody
race.
retired from the race except for the
Yeah.
top 9. But that's Daytona. Let's talk about Talladega. So this is the first race in almost a month for the Truck Series. The round 20 of 23 for the playoffs. This is the round of 6 for the first race of 3. And last year's winner, Timothy Peters, while driving for GMS Racing. And the first race here was 2006, won by Mark Martin. And the most wins here at Talladega, Timothy Peters leads that with 3. Top-of-the-line, Kyle Busch and Parker Kligerman have 2. Most team wins, Red Horse Racing, the team that no longer exists. They closed 2 years ago. They have 3. While Germain Racing and GMS Racing have 2 wins each. As for the most make wins, Toyota leads that with 9. 3 wins for Chevy and 1 for Ford. That being Mark Martin for Roush in 2006, the inaugural race at Talladega. It's 100. I think it's 100 laps. Is there like 94 laps?
94.
Yeah, 94.
It's basically half of the Cup race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
250 miles. All right. So who do you guys have picking to win? And let's talk about the round of 6 for a moment. And because the round of 6 will consider. Well, let's talk about the race first of all. Who wins the truck race at Talladega?
Ooh, this is interesting.
I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with Austin Hill. Well, no. I'll take that back. Brett Moffitt. Brett Moffitt's definitely
Brett
winning
Moffitt.
that Dega.
I think this is a wild one, but Stuart Friesen wins the Talladega, and here's why. I think knowing how Talladega works, and just there's always been massive crashes. I remember last year there was one turn 3, between turn 3 and 4, and it was like just like awful. Like almost everyone was taken
Yeah.
out from there.
Yeah.
And the whole complexity of the race changed. and then a favorite like Noah Gragson crashed out in the last lap. So I just don't think
Chivas almost won.
I just don't think we're gonna see your traditional favorites, your traditional contenders out there. But Stuart Friesen will do it. And let's talk about the round of 6 for a moment. Let's keep on with our picks. Who wins the Truck Series at Talladega?
My pick. This driver. He's run good. He's run really good at the play tracks. He was running second at one point until he got crashed by Grant Enfinger. I think Todd Gilliland will win at Talladega and that Kyle Busch will be happy.
Todd Gill and Talladega, winner for Justin. Danny, who do you got?
I think he said
think
Brett
he does
Moffitt.
not exist at the moment.
Joseph. He said Brett Moffitt, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I said Brett Moffitt. I did say Brett Moffitt.
Short-term memory loss. I need a new temporal lobe. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man.
Blake, who you got?
So who I have? This driver has 3 wins, 16 top 10s, the most in the field, and has led the most laps of anybody this season. Ross Chastain.
Okay.
I see that. Armani,
wow.
who you got?
All right, so listen up. Listen very closely. Listen very carefully. This driver, born in 1997 from California, he led 21 laps in the first Daytona race, crashed out, finished 17th. One of the many, couple other manys in there, drivers that wrecked out. And then for the rest of the season, was basically non-existent. However, ever since Eldora, these are his finishes: second, sixth, fourth, and fourth.
I got it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Now, I think he's finally going to put it together. We saw Noah Gragson do in 2017. He missed the playoffs, but he won a race. Sheldon Creed is going to get his first career win at Talladega.
You listen. I'm with you. Even though I have Stuart Friesen winning, I think Sheldon Creed. To be honest, they have the same engine compartments. They might just work together. Let's talk about now the playoffs, because I know, speaking of memory loss, there's some long-term memory loss. It's been a month since our last truck race, almost. Brett, let's talk about the round of 6 and what does it look like and who is and where and what the race is comprised of. So Brett Moffitt is the points leader. He has 34 bonus points. Austin Hill second, 17 bonus points. Ross Chastain third with 16 bonus points. Stuart Friesen is fourth with 14 bonus points. Matt Crafton is below the cut line because now you have to make the final 4 to go in.
Yep.
He's got 11 bonus points in 5th, and Tyler Ankrum has 9. Well, is -9 below the cut line, but he has 5 bonus points this year. So it's just 6 drivers, and the gap between making in the next round is 23, the highest, and the lowest of not making the next round is -9.
And
do the math. It's not that large of a gap.
Yeah.
You can easily gain and lose those points.
Yeah. And also this week we have Talladega that is going to be 94 laps. Then we go to Martinsville for the Hall of Fame 200, which is 200 laps at a short track. And then we have ISM Raceway, which is a 1 mile track, 150 laps. It's 1 mile track, which is different, a short track, and a plate track. So it's 3 different tracks.
Just like the round of 8 where we had the short track at Bristol, the road course at Mosport, and the 1.5 mile at Vegas. We have 3 different tracks in this round.
Yep.
You got to master these races. And to make it the Final 4, if you're not familiar with the NASCAR playoff rules, you have to basically, if you win in the 3 races, you lock in the next round, and you just got to point your win. So you basically have to make the Final 4 to get in. the 6 drivers and 4 spots.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that, and I think we've covered it all for the Truck Series race at Talladega, upcoming this Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
All right, moving on to Formula One for the 2019 F1 World Championship. They head over the Pacific Seas to the
Singapore.
Japanese.
Singapore.
The
Where
Japanese
we-
Joseph, what are you doing, man?
The Japanese Grand Prix. Excuse me. See, I'm in
Weeaboo
La
Grand
La
Prix.
Land, and I guess my
Yeah.
La La Land brain cells are
And
telling me,
also,
"Hey,
we
Joe,
don't go.
hey, Joe."
In the future, we're not going to go to Singapore twice in the season, like close to.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Japan.
I don't know why I was thinking from Singapore to Russia back to the
Singapore,
There's a let's
Yeah.
rephrase.
Japan.
The Japanese Grand Prix.
That's just
Wait, hold on a minute. Is it too late to change my pick for the truck race at Talladega?
What are you gonna?
What was
are you
that?
gonna? Are you gonna pick Jennifer Jo Cobb?
No, I'm gonna pick Joseph's
Okay.
favorite driver.
Damn
Dude,
well.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
She's
hey,
in the race.
hey, Natalie Decker's gonna be in the race.
Pick her. Have fun with that.
I mean, I did pick Natalie
would be
Decker
a
to win
very
the first
bad
Las
idea.
Vegas race, so
If you want to hurt yourself in the World Racing Media Championship, go
I'm
ahead.
already 20 points out of it,
Armani. Always wanted to pick the
Hey,
bold
Armani,
choices.
if you keep ruining yourself, I could get up to second if you start picking bad drivers.
all
and
right.
I
Let me,
would-
yeah, you're gonna
Come on,
make up
everybody.
43 points.
It's still possible. You just have to pick BJ McLeod every week. That's how.
Speaking of which, Danny, when are we gonna let the boys catch up?
Damn, when am I gonna let the boys catch up? I don't know.
All right. Well,
man.
while you guys make your while we make our F1 picks, I'm actually because Blake actually made me think. I'm gonna go back and look at all like this crazy picks that I made. So while you guys make your picks, I'm gonna do that real quick.
All right, let's talk about the Japanese
Yeah.
Grand Prix. I said it right this time. The
Yeah.
Japanese Grand Prix is the famed Suzuka circuit. Maybe I associated the letter S with Singapore instead of Suzuka. But yeah, the Suzuka circuit, we're round 17 of 21 of the 2019 World Championship.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton won the race last year. The first race was won by Mario Andretti back in 1976. And there's been only 2 tracks in the history of the Japanese Grand Prix, Fuji and Suzuka. Didn't we talk about Fuji? Yeah, but that was sports cars.
Yeah.
All right, so the most wins in the Japanese Grand Prix was Michael Schumacher with 6. Hamilton second most with 5 wins. Sebastian Vettel has 4. Gerhard Berger, Ayrton Senna, Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen, and Fernando Alonso all have 2 wins in the Japanese Grand Prix.
That's not too much.
Most constructors wins at the Montreal. The Japanese Grand Prix. I don't know why I said. I was looking at
Come on,
McLaren. Okay, so McLaren has,
Joseph, what are you doing, bro?
McLaren has the most wins in the
Joe's dying over here.
We're in Japan, not Montreal. Montreal is not in Asia. Last time I checked.
Japanese Grand Prix. Most constructor wins. McLaren with 9, not Montreal. No, McLaren. Ferrari has 7, Mercedes with 5, Red Bull 4, Benetton and Williams have 3, and Renault have 2 wins. I'm only counting the official F1 World Championship events, not the exhibitions. But yeah, who you guys have winning the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka Circuit?
Okay.
We're gonna
For
say
me,
it like that.
I am just thinking, but also, by the way, if you don't know, for Mercedes and Red Bull, you know the aero upgrade that Ferrari got? Mercedes is doing that too. So Mercedes and Red Bull might be better on straights now. So for me, my pick, it's so hard to pick this driver. He wins a lot of races. He has most wins at Russia. Yeah, I think
Let's
that
take a wild
Lewis-
guess. Let me take a
Lewis-
wild guess.
Who do you think I'm picking?
You're going with the Lord himself.
No, Lewis Hamilton. Not Pastor Maldonado is not going to enter. No, I'm going with Lewis Hamilton. He is good at Suzuka. I think he'll still perform really well in his Mercedes, and I feel like he's going to pull away in that championship.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Hamilton as well.
For me, I'm going to go with Sebastian Vettel. He does have 4 wins in the Japanese Grand Prix.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
For Suzuka, I also have to go with Hamilton. Suzuka is a very fast-flowing track, except for that one hairpin.
Yeah.
And that is definitely the type of track that Lewis Hamilton excels at.
Yeah.
All right. So
think
while you guys were giving your picks, turns out I only have 2 quote unquote wild card picks: Pierre Gasly at Germany and Jimmy Johnson at Indianapolis.
Oh, why did you pick Pierre Gasly at Germany anyway? Even if he crashed
Let's
out?
go
have
back
an
to July
listen,
and we
listen,
can.
I have an explanation. Before Germany, Pierre Gasly's previous 3 results were 4th, 7th, and 10th. They all went up 3 positions. So naturally, it just makes sense.
He's in Toro Rosso now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So wait. Oh, Danny died. Now he's back from the dead. So my pick is Charles Leclerc. I mean, the guy's been on a roll this season. He should have won. He should have won Russia if the VSC didn't fall when it did, and he should have won Singapore. So he theoretically can have 4 wins and should have 4 wins in a row in the season. So the man's on fire, and he's clearly the best driver for Ferrari. So I think that Charles Leclerc is going to get it done.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, scratch that. George Russell's winning.
That's if there aren't any team orders involved.
I do not think George Russell. First of all, they need speed, some speed, and not just beating Robert Kubica's speed.
Yeah.
Team orders.
Now you're gonna lose Griffin. Okay, let's move it back to Okay, so everyone's picks. I got Vettel. Blake has Hamilton. Justin, you got Hamilton. Danny, you have Hamilton. Velocity, you got
Armani, I got fucking Charles.
Armani.
I got Charles.
Okay.
Charles Leclerc.
Okay. It's
Oh my God.
It's better that Robert Kubica or George Russell or Kevin Magnussen. Because I remember.
You're right. I'll
Magnussen.
go with the greatest driver on the grid, Romain Grosjean.
Well, I guess during the Haas,
Hell no.
I remember when they got a penalty, which Kevin Magnussen got a penalty. Gunter Steiner was mad on the radio. He was so mad.
Gunther Steiner's a clown.
He was yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Okay, so let's talk about the next race. There's 2 more big races that are going to take place this weekend. Let's start with what are we going to spend more time talking about here?
I don't know.
Okay, let's just get into the Bathurst 1000 for the famous race in
For the
mountain-
famous Bathurst 1000.
that probably the biggest road race in Australia.
Wait, it's 161 laps.
161 laps, 1,000 kilometers, and it's
Yeah.
round 25 on the season for week 12 of the Supercars Championship. Last year's Craig Lowndes and Stephen Richards won. Their duo gave Craig Lowndes his 7th win at the mountain. The first race was ran back in Phillip Island in 1960, won by Rosberg and Cod. The most wins, famous Peter Brock, king of the mountain, with 9 wins. Jim Richards, Craig Lowndes have 7 wins. Larry Perkins and Mark Skaife have 6 victories. Stephen Richards has 5 wins. Bob James, Harry Firth, Alan Moffat, Greg Murphy, Jamie Whincup all have 4 wins. Dick Johnson, Garth Tander, John Goss, Dick Johnson and Garth Tander have 3 wins. John Goss, Alan Grice, John Bowe, Russell Ingall, Tony Longhurst, Rick Kelly, and Will Davison each have 2 wins in the Bathurst 1000. All right, most team wins at Mount Panorama. Holden Dealer team with 9, and 3 teams are tied with 7 victories. Thank you. Ford Works team, Holden Racing team, and 888 Race Engineering have 7 wins. Dick Johnson Racing, Perkins Engineering, Gibson Motorsports each have 3 wins. Kmart Racing Team and Ford Performance Racing have 2 wins. And the most wins for a manufacturer of the Bathurst 1000 is Holden with 33, 20 were Ford, Nissan with 2, and Jaguar, BMW, and Volvo have 1 win at the Bathurst 1000. So there you have it. Those are the stats. Let's talk about the drivers and the pair-ups that we will see this weekend. For this Sunday in Australia, for us, Saturday night lights.
Yep. Ooh, that race. It's going to be... And just to tell you, it's in Bathurst, Australia, not Bathurst, New Brunswick. My friend Alex thought it was in Bathurst, New Brunswick. I'm like, no.
That's where Craft Hockeyville took place.
Yeah, but now it's in Australia, not in Canada. It's all the way in Australia.
Team, boys. Not in... That's in Canada. Not in the...
Down under.
Yeah, we're in the land down under. Now the song's playing.
Like, and
anyways, the Bathurst 1000, the most prized, the most famous touring car endurance race in the world.
Yes, and looking at the stats, if you remember, 1997, in 1998, the races were divided when the touring cars had their version and the traditional V8 series had their own race back in 1998, which was when Richard Racknell and Jim Richards won back in their Volvo S40, and then Holden's won in just consecutively afterwards from 1999 all the way up until 2005 when the first Ford win since 98 for the V8 race was with Lowndes and Whincup in that emotional 2006 super cheap auto Bathurst 1000, like the old Ford BA Falcon. And then you look on, see the Fords, they did pick it up a little from 07 and 08. They won 3 in a row, basically with the same driver pairs, with Lowndes and Whincup. And they'll be back together.
I'm curious right now because do you know what's kind of interesting? Scott McLaughlin has not won the Bathurst 1000 yet. He's not won it yet. So that's interesting. He hasn't won the Bathurst 1000, which quite interesting.
And it's gonna be interesting once we get into the picks because of that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I have you guys. I put in the chat. I put it in the private chat for you guys to copy and paste. I just gave you the entry list for the Bathurst 1000. So you got to remember, you have to factor many things in here. This is not your ordinary supercars racing season. It's not like McLaughlin can walk away and whittle along with another win here. He's got to do it with a co-driver.
Yeah,
and going to work together now to master those 161 laps. Okay, we're not talking about 40 laps. We're not talking about 71 laps. Not even 80 laps. 161 laps from start to finish. Anything goes.
And this track is long. It is a long track too.
And yes, we also have when you're going down the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
That section. There's that one section. It always catches drivers out where it gets very narrow with those S's.
Yeah, turn 11 to turn 17. That area is really tricky. And it is 23 corners, 23 turns around the track, which is you have to manage those corners really right.
You got to get once you get through Skyline, from Skyline to the Forest Elbow, that's when it gets technical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to climb the mountain 161 times and do it perfectly.
And then you go downhill through Conrod Straight, the Chase, which is kind of like a swingy like chicane. It's not really a chicane. You just swing your car to the right and hope for the best. And then you brake hard into Murray's corner. And the end of the lap. It's also a very narrow track, too. If you realize a lot of the crashes that involve several cars take place when the track gets blocked. 2005 race, for example, when they had the altercation between Murphy and Ambrose.
Like, this race is...
And also to point out another example, Joe, even though this isn't an example from the Bathurst 1000, I think it was was it this year or last year's 12-hour ended, I think it was last year, ended in a big crash. And it was because of the lap traffic, the way that it happened had something to do with the lap traffic, but it blocked the track and it was very bad. But that can happen at Bathurst because of the unique narrowness of the track.
So yeah, let's talk about our Bathurst 1000 predictions and the drivers. So the entrants for this year we have. Let's start with just the entries from the bottom number up to the top. We have Scott Pye, Warren Love for Walkinshaw Race Andretti United. They have number 2 car, the Holden Commodore ZB. That's your number 2. For number 3 car, you have Gary Jacobson and Dean Fiore for Kelly Racing, and then Nissan Altima L33. And then we get to some Ford here. Lee Holdsworth, Thomas Brandel, and the Tickford Racing entry, the Ford GT.
And Cameron
Waters, Michael Caruso. Caruso drove a Nissan last year.
And also we got now the 7, another Kelly Racing entry, Andre Heimgartner and Bryce Fullwood in a Nissan Altima L33. The number 8 for Brad Jones Racing has Nick Perkett and Tim Blanchard in a Holden Commodore ZB. Now we get to Erebus Motorsports, number 9. David Reynolds and Luke Yulden.
2017 winners.
In a Holden Commodore ZB. Here we get to the first Penske car, the number 12 DGR Team Penske Ford Mustang GT. Fabian Coulthard and Tony Delberto in the number 12. Now, another Brad Jones entry for Holden again. Tim Slade and Ashley Walsh.
Brad Jones Racing. Rick Kelly, Dale Wood in the number 15 Kelly Racing Nissan Altima L33. Then here's probably the man of the season right here, the car of the season. Scott McLaughlin and Alexandre Fremont.
Yeah, in the 17.
Yeah,
Penske.
That is the team that everybody's going to be watching. Can they do it?
They'll try. It's
They've
going to
won
be really
16 times this year.
And
will this be the one slip up?
I don't know. We have the 18. The 18, Charlie Sketchworker Colt Racing in a Holden. Mark Winterbottom and Stephen Richards.
Stephen Richards was with Craig Lowndes last year when they won. And Stephen Richards has a total of 5 wins.
The number 19, Techno Autosports, number 19 with a Holden Commodore ZB. Jack LeBrock and Jonathan Webb. Now we have the
number 21. We have a youngster and a veteran.
Yeah.
Macaulay Jones and Dean Canto and Tim Blanchard Racing for the Holden Commodore ZB. And then here's our next Andretti Walkinshaw United entry. This is number 22, James Courtney and Jack Perkins in the Holden.
Yeah. Then we have the 23 Red Racing Ford, Will Davison and Alex Davison.
2 brothers.
Yep. And then we have this team doesn't race. This is the only race they're racing. The Walkinshaw Andretti United Holden Commodore ZB, driven by 2 IndyCar drivers, number 27, Alexander Rossi and James Hinchcliffe.
Essentially the IndyCar team. An Andretti team, actually. If you look at it, it is an Andretti team.
And in the IndyCar side of things, Rossi almost gave Michael Andretti a championship, but fell short. Richie Stanaway, Chris Pither for Gary Rogers Motorsport in the Holden Commodore ZB. I wish that said Volvo S60. James Golding, Richard Muscat for Gary Rogers Motorsport.
We have the 35, Matt Stone Racing for a Holden Commodore again. We have the Todd Hazelwood and Jack Smith. Tickford Racing, another entry, Ford Mustang GT. Chaz Mostert and James Moffat.
Chaz Mostert won the 2014 Bathurst 1000 in crazy fashion. Let's move on. The Koskowski brothers, Brody and Jake, for the 56 car Holden Commodore ZB.
Then another Kelly Racing 78 Nissan Altima L33, Simona De Silvestro and Alex Rullo in
This will be
car number
Silvestra's
78.
last race at Bathurst until something happens drastically that
Yeah.
she'll make a return because she will become a Porsche factory driver starting in 2020. All right, Triple Eight Race Engineering. These guys, we know how they perform with uttermost grit. Cenk van Giesbergen, the 2016 champion. Garth Tander, who won the 2011 Bathurst 1000, will drive the 97 car for Triple Eight Race
Yeah.
Engineering.
We got the Erebus number 99, Erebus Motorsports Holden Commodore ZB, Anton De Pascal and Will Brown in car 99. The final entry,
This is my pick right here.
the Triple Eight Racing Engineering Holden Commodore ZB, Craig Lowndes and Jamie Wincup in car 888.
These are two of the best.
Not gonna
veterans.
win.
These are two
You
of the
never know.
best veterans in the business. I think the question is, will the veteran experience prevail? Because you could see you have Craig Lowndes 7 wins in the Bathurst 1000. Jamie Wincup has 4. So in total, even though the two won 3 in a row, that is 11.
They're not gonna win, sweetheart.
I love the
Scott Mc-
sweetheart at the end.
Hey, Scott McLaughlin's going to finish retired out of the race because he's going to crash into the pace car.
Or Alexander Fremont.
Oh, boy.
Dave Burns is going to lead every lap.
Hey, my
Wait, what?
Triple Eight seems to be a lucky number in the Bathurst 1000.
Absolutely. They've won numerous times.
My pick, by the way, for me, the car I'm picking, it is for Triple Eight Racing, but
By the
it's
way, the
not,
Kotkesi brothers are actually cousins.
yeah, but
Jake and Brody.
For-
My bad.
for me, my pick, it is the car that I'm picking. They do drive for 888 Race Engineering, but it's not the 888. I'm picking the number 97, Shane Van Giesbergen and Garth Tander. Tander won in 2011. He really did good. I feel like that 97 car will win at Bathurst.
You really think so?
I think that Garth Tander has experience. Van Giesbergen has experience.
Highest Van Giesbergen finish was second with co-driver Premont back in 2016. The other times came back the last two with 5th place finishes, and his co-driver last year was Obama, Matt Campbell 2 years ago. So
Now
how's
this
he
year,
gonna?
Garth Tander.
Yeah, with Tanner, I think you'll see a little more experience.
I think
Shoot.
I think the number 17, Scott McLaughlin and Alexandra Primat.
Oh.
Thank you.
I am betting on them winning for the first time at the Bathurst 1000.
Thank you, Blake. Thank
Uh,
you. Finally, someone who gets where I'm going with this.
Well, Wadman
The highest paid finish was 2016 second with Van Giesbergen. Last year, Fremont finished third with McLaughlin. 2 years ago, they DNF. Gary
Okay.
Rogers.
hey,
Rogers. They worked. So Scott McLaughlin did
Mc-
work with Fremont
wait,
back in Gary Rogers Motorsports. when
Wait,
they ran
you
the
said-
Polo.
you
Fifth
said
place
2 years ago.
And Fujitsu.
Wait, you said they DNF 2 years ago.
in 2017.
They're gonna DNF 2 years later, then.
Wow. See, I'd be
No.
more
We are
for them
not
if they had
going there,
Polo,
Justin.
but-
We are not going there.
So wait. Did they DNF over mechanical issues or a
I
crash?
can't remember.
Wait, I could go check.
It was
If they
What-
DNF'd
what
over
year?
a crash, then I mean,
But I mean, they have some other good finishes, like last year, third, 2016. 2015 with McLaughlin, which was a 5th place finish back when he drove for Gary Rogers Motorsports in the Volvo, and then 2014, Scott McLaughlin worked with him. It was a 17th place finish.
Wait,
with Fremont.
I'm checking. They blew up on lap 74.
Mm.
They blew up.
right? Okay, so that was mechanical.
Well,
Uh,
they'll do it again.
That was purely mechanical. I think I think those podiums, that shows that they have a lot of speed, and I mean, Scott McLaughlin has been dominating just constantly this year. And, I mean, even though they haven't won it yet, I think they're fully capable.
You know, yeah, that's it. I'm going to have to go with my boy McLaughlin and Alex Premat from France.
All right,
There's
what about
that.
you, Joseph?
I'm going with Jamie Wincup and Craig Lowndes. I think they're just
Not going to win.
You never know. You never know. Well, I picked Shane Van Gisbergen and
Just
Darth
Tanner.
Just watch Wincup choke again,
What happened
like he did last year.
Well, Tander's probably gonna
well,
win.
that was
it.
actually Paul Dumbrell who drove and the tire came off.
Well,
Is Paul Dumbrell racing this year?
I didn't see him at all on the entry list.
That's a good question.
All right, so here's my pick. You guys are gonna love my pick.
Oh.
I'm going with my boy David Reynolds to win.
Oh my God.
And I'm only picking for one reason, just to spite Danny. And that's where I'm kidding again. I'm not picking David Reynolds.
Oh, really? Then who are you picking?
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Okay.
That is a good pick.
Who do you got, Blake? I'm very curious.
I
Who did you pick,
got
Scott.
McLaughlin and Alexandra Primat.
Oh my God, we're in a little Holden versus Ford bout in this podcast already.
I'll use David Reynolds as my backup.
Hey, by the way, for people that don't know how to watch supercars, there's an A stream. Just put that A stream into VLC Media Player or A Stream Player, whatever. But by the way, don't find live streams because last year me and Joseph saw a live stream of a girl eating chips.
With the race on in the background mirrored.
Oh yeah.
It didn't go so well.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is that? This
yeah,
is unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's
there was
absolutely
At
a
least
joke.
we know our stream sources. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so there's that. We got one more major race to cover this weekend. I think we're all good on Bathurst. It's going to be a great Saturday night classic for us.
Yeah.
Of course, it's here in North America. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Petit Le Mans. Now on back to sports car racing. I mean, still in the endurance realm of racing. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, Bathurst, it's touring cars, but it's still an endurance race by far means. But this is a 10-hour race here. For the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship will wrap up their season for round 12 of the 12 race tour for the Petit Le Mans. It's a 10-hour race that's French for Little Le Mans, and that takes place at Road Atlanta in Georgia. Last year, the race was won by Wayne Taylor Racing. The first race was won by Doyle Rizzi Ferrari back in 1998, which was created by Don Panos. Most wins by a driver was Ronaldo Capello with 5. Most wins for a constructor with 9. Audi. And Audi has 9 wins. Peugeot with 3. Lola with 2. Ferrari, Panos, Chevy, Porsche, Ligier, Nissan, and Cadillac each all have 1 win. And here's a fun fact. The 2015 Petit Le Mans, the overall winners was actually a car from the GT class, Porsche. Something you very rarely see nowadays.
And that race was a little weird because the reason why that car won overall was because the tires were so good on the Michelins, and the Porsche the Michelins fit the Porsche so well in the wet weather that they were faster than the prototypes, and I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Unless we just, I mean, it could happen in the WEC. All it takes is like a major wreck to happen in the WEC. Really, if we want to be fair.
It takes a major wreck just to have just Toyota not win.
I mean,
Well, yeah, but I mean, realistically speaking,
it's probably not going to happen.
probably not going to happen. But we can be safe to say that, it can be safe to say that I don't even know where I was going to go with that.
But yeah, this is the crazy fact. Each race has their own fun facts, but we're gone are the days of the Audi LMP1s. So you can't just fly away with an Audi pick like you used to. And the same kind of goes with Peugeot. But looking back at here, I think the winners will be the number 10 Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac, because if you look in the Endurance Cup, they had first at Daytona, second at Sebring, where they finished at Watkins Glen.
Let me tell
Who?
Wayne Taylor Racing.
Oh, I don't think they finished that well at Watkins Glen.
Wait.
I can't remember.
I'm just making sure.
Did they DNF?
I'm just checking.
No, I don't think they DNF.
You were there.
I think they finished.
Yeah,
I think they finished low. I can't remember. I know who won.
They finished fifth.
That's not bad.
Right. That was a fifth.
Yeah, they got P5.
Yeah, right. That was not a very memorable drive. That's the thing about it. That was probably why I didn't remember where they finished.
No, wait. No, that was qualifying. They finished fourth, actually.
So their average finish is like somewhere around like 3 point something.
What is it? First, second, fourth?
First, second, and fourth. That's a very, very good run
for the Endurance Cup. I would listen. They could they
average finish of 2.3.
Couldn't they win the Endurance Cup?
2.3. They could if they
well
were.
But as for the entire season championship, no.
We have to talk about the points. How many points are awarded for each segment of the race that the points are awarded in, and how many they have. I believe there's three segments where they award points.
Yeah, for the Endurance Cup in the.
For the Petit Le Mans. At Daytona there was 4, but on the other rounds I think it's 3.
Like, I was just checking, and about Wayne Taylor Racing, they do have a good finish on these tracks, like first, second, and fourth. But 2017 was their breakout season. They won the championship. They won a lot of races. 2018, no wins until this race last year. Remember, they won that race.
They snagged the win, too. It wasn't
because the 5 Mustang sampling car ran out of fuel and lost.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And they won. And then this year, Daytona race, there was the rain, and then they won because it was too bad conditions. And then after that, we had they almost won. They were catching the 31 Cadillac for the win at Sebring, and then 4th place at the race at Watkins Glen. So they have a good shot of getting good finish again at Watkins at Road Atlanta.
Absolutely, Justin. I think you made some very good points there. They've been doing very well this season. Now, let's also talk about Mazda. They've also had a very good run this season, despite some issues.
They turned the tables right as soon as the Watkins Glen 6 hours began.
Yes.
And they won 3 straight.
Absolutely. I was there. I was there at that race. And I saw that. And so they turned the tables around. Now they're running very well. They have probably the fastest car out of everybody. And I think they're another team that very well could win it.
I can't believe Wikipedia didn't update the championship points. I don't know why I use Wikipedia.
Well, I know for the IMSA points, they're on their website, the regular website.
Yeah, I could go back and look, but I think as for the race, my pick for the DPI class is going to be the Wayne Taylor Racing number 10 car.
My pick is also the 10 because they do run well. They have good drivers. They have Ranger Van der Zande that he qualifies the car.
A great qualifier.
And we have Jordan Taylor, which he runs for his team. And the other one is Mathieu Vaxivière. He's also he didn't run last year in the 10 was Ryan Hunter-Reay, but this year he's running in the number 10 car, which I remember he did good. Not this year. I think it was last year at Sebring where he did good. So I think the number 10 Cadillac is going to win at Road Atlanta again.
Yeah, I think that might be a good pick, but I think they're gonna win Petit Le Mans. Blake, you said Wing Taylor Racing.
I did not pick anybody.
What do you have?
So I think that Penske is going to win yet another race this season.
Okay.
They're going to have their fourth win. And I think it's going to be the number 6.
Okay, Cameron and Montoya and Pagenaud in their car.
Great lineup.
Yep, because the other
Pagenaud
car,
win the win for Peugeot?
I think he did.
Hold
No.
on. No. He
No.
wasn't on the lineup.
I remember that the other car, the 7, will have Ricky Taylor, Cash Neves, and Graham Rahal. That's the 7 car. The other car.
Don't forget, we also have to make picks. Once we're done with the picks for the race, we also have to pick for the championship because this is the.
Let's start with the rest of the classes, though. So we just went through for the DPI class.
Well, LMP2 is 38 or 52.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any announcements on the other entries, so let's just base it off from there.
For me,
I got the 38 this time.
For me, I feel like the 52, Match McMurray and their group, I think the 52 is going to win in LMP2.
What do you got?
I'm going to say the 38. I think they've been more consistent, and especially for the endurance races.
Next,
Ronnie's in La La Land.
And Daniel Ford left.
Yeah.
And
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the GTLM class. We saw the race at Fuji, which we know the same cars will be there, except for the Aston Martins. They're not in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championships this year. The Risi Competizione Ferrari that won Le Mans is going to return to racing with the same drivers and the same crew and the same car of everything.
Same chassis?
I think so. Some of everything. Probably not, because you can't really get away with a Le Mans setup at
Road Atlanta.
No, you're going to need a lot more acceleration.
Like Road Atlanta.
Yeah, but the chassis, they can set up the car different with the same chassis, so I don't see why they.
Yeah, because
it should be interesting.
Because that would be bad going to Road Atlanta having a Le Mans setup because it's named Petit Le Mans, but it's not Le Mans because the track is not even. This track is not 8 miles like at Le Mans.
It's not even close to how much at Le Mans you have to be basically set up for top speed and mechanical grip.
Yeah.
At Petit Le Mans, you want downforce.
Yeah.
Anyway, aside from that, where were we?
We're talking about LM picks.
Oh, picks. I'm going to pick the number 92 Porsche. No, sorry, 912.
The 912. Okay.
Finished second at Fuji last week.
Ooh.
I mean, yesterday.
My pick for they won Daytona this year. I think the 25 BMW is going to win at Road Atlanta. Not overall in GTLM. Not overall because I don't think they're not going to be.
No, that's such a rarity. All right. My pick, of course, I had the number 91 Porsche for the Fuji race. They finished dead last in class, but I think they're going to win it in
The 911. Okay.
So yeah, the 911 Porsche basically was you just had an extra one in the
Yeah.
car number for their IMSA races. So the 911 Porsche is going to win, in my opinion, for the GTLM class. All right, GTD class, which is the GT3 category. Take your picks, guys. Who do you have?
Ooh, that's interesting.
I forget the number of that WeatherTech Ferrari.
Oh, it's the 63.
Oh, it is the 63.
Scuderia Corsa.
So yes, that car has been doing good this season. I think they'll win.
Okay. My pick. This car. The team is Meyer Shank Racing. I think the 86 Acura is gonna win GTD because one, they have experienced drivers like Mario Farnbacher, Trent Heidemann, Justin Marks also is racing in that car. So I feel with the experience like that, I think the 86 Acura is gonna win in GT Daytona.
That is not a bad pick.
I'm gonna go with the number 86, Marshank.
All right, my pick is going to be the number. See, I'm a Lexus guy. I drive a Lexus on the street. I got to endorse my car. So number 14, Ambassador Sullivan Racing, Lexus RCF GT3. They've won twice, and they won Mid Ohio, and they won in Belle Isle. But they'll win an endurance in the race this year to close out the season, despite being 7th in the championship points. So the number 14, Ambassador Sullivan Lexus will win GTD.
Not sponsored.
Who are your picks, Armani?
For GTD?
Yeah, for all the classes. And
For DPI, I'm going with the number 77. For LMP2, I don't know. There's usually only 2, so give me the points leader as the pick because I.
52 and the 38. It's just
all
down
right,
to those guys.
All right, give me the 52.
Okay.
For GTLM, I'll take the 912 Porsche, and like I said, I'll take the number 86 for GTD.
Okay.
All right, and for the championship, it looks like I'm just looking at the DPI title fight. 274 minus 262. I
That-
math.
274, you said?
274 minus 262.
That's 12 points.
12-point difference between
Ooh.
the 6 Acura for Penske and the 71 Cadillac for the Wheeling team.
71 Cadillac.
I mean the 31. My bad.
I
Let's
was
move
gonna
on the 52. Okay, so for LMP2, 235 minus 227.
That is 8 points.
8 points separate the 52 from the 38
Okay.
for the championship over there.
Okay.
It's just down to them. The GTLM class, 304 minus 292.
That is 304, you said?
Yeah.
That's 12 points.
The 12 points separate the 912 from the teammate 911 Porsche.
Okay.
GTD class, 264 minus 232. That's like 32 times 2 is 64. There's the
32 points. Whew.
Yeah, so I think that 86 is set sail. Just follows to get through the championship now. All right, I think that's it. I think that we covered everything. It's an action-packed race weekend.
Right. Also, about the race weekend, I always sometimes do this on the podcast. To watch the truck race, it's on FS1, not Fox. No, because there's the Cotton Bowl on Fox. So FS1 for the Supercars race. They're just find an A stream link and put it through VLC to watch it. The Petit Le Mans race, watch it. NBC for the first part, NBC Sports app for the next part, or just find an IMSA stream online. And the last part's on NBCSN. And for the Japanese Grand Prix, it's on ESPN2, not ESPN, ESPN2.
And what time is that? 1 in the morning?
Yeah, 1 a.m. Eastern.
Should be a nice late nighter for 2 races Saturday night.
And then on Sunday, the Cup Series race is at 1:30 p.m. Eastern as the coverage starts on NBC. So you better watch these races.
Justin, with your weekly threat to watch the race.
And guys, you better get me those links, those pretty links.
Yep.
We're gonna need them.
Yep.
All
because-
right.
And get your coffee too. You're gonna be
Yeah.
for us in North
Yes,
America.
yes.
You're gonna stay up late. And so
Yep.
I suggest you get coffee.
Yep. Just don't drink too many Red Bulls. Don't drink like 3 Red Bulls.
Right. Then you'll be too tired for the Talladega 500.
Or you'll be like, or during the races you'll be shaking too much, and that's not good.
Hmm.
So yeah, get coffee and stuff to keep you awake. You don't want to be me during the Australian Grand Prix falling asleep before the race started.
Lights weren't even off.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yep. So I'll try to not sleep on my bed. I'll try to sit down in this chair because
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
want to keep the circulation flowing.
Yep.
That's my pick because that's my tip because I
Jonas' pick for the Talladega 500 is his chair.
literally because
Yeah.
I know how like I've been through full 24-hour races without
Yeah.
a single minute of sleep. You just
Yeah.
have to stay active and
Yep.
keep you want to
Yeah.
keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's everything. So y'all know the
Yeah.
drill.
Yeah. Wait. Also, guys, please follow my Twitter at YTNASCAR. Follow my Instagram at JustinBear88 and go subscribe to my YouTube channel NASCAR88.
Subscribe to him, bud. He posts videos every day. I enjoy watching Justin posting on NASCAR 88. All right. For me, follow my Twitter at JLP Snipes.
Follow my Twitter at HOULE125, no caps.
All right. So be sure to keep up. It says it right there, but follow me on Twitter, VelocityWRM. Follow me on Twitter, VelocityWRM. Follow us on Twitter, WR Media Group. Follow us on YouTube at World Racing Media. Follow us on Instagram, World Racing Media. Follow us on Facebook at World Racing Media. Thank you guys so much for tuning to this edition of Below the Live podcast. And Danny isn't here, unfortunately. But remember to stay off the damn weed.
Duh.
Good job, guys.
Yep.